Hello, I'm Mike, and in this video, I'll show you how to make the voice of Venom. Now, I don't know about you, but I really got into the Venom trilogy of movies recently, and I thought, the voice of Venom is really interesting. I wonder if I can recreate that myself. And I'm going to show you what I've learned and how you can go and do it yourself. There are many methods to go and try, but before I get into it, I want to pay respects to the late, great Tony Todd, who sadly passed away, the voice actor of Venom, and frankly, no one will replace you, sir. But I will do my best to show you the kind of effects you could use if you want to get a similar style voice. Let's hop in and do it. Now, the first thing I'd recommend is go and watch my other video where I talk about AI tools to make you sound like a celebrity and sound different. There's a tool called Voice AI that actually has a Voice of Venom preset, and if you just want to create that Voice of Venom sound, go and try out Voice AI and see how you get on. But I'm going to give you 3 main tips to get started, and the first one starts with your voice and training your voice to go like this. Get a little bit lower, speak from the belly, and try and get a bit raspy. Introduce a bit of that vocal fry. I'm going to try and deliver a voice as best as I can with no effects, and then we'll put some effects on top and make it sound more and more like Venom. So here I am in my audio editor. It's called Adobe Audition. It's got a bunch of cool effects. Let's get started. This is the voice of Venom. So many snacks, so little time. Okay, so that's my best delivery, and frankly, it's not even a shadow on Tony Todd's delivery. But we've got something here we can work with. I've just trimmed it up using Command and T on my Mac or Control T on the PC, and then I'll hit Shift D to switch off this big frequency view so we can just see the waveform. I'm going to make it a bit louder by using this dial to make it louder, and let's play back. This is the voice of Venom. So hear how I'm trying to modulate my voice as I talk like that. That is the start. But the next thing to do is to throw some effects on this voice. Now, I'm going to copy this over to a new file so I can keep the original and we can listen to how far we've come. So first of all, I will go ahead and use my effects rack to apply some effects in a different order to try and get something good. And the first thing I'm going to do is go into the little arrow here on Effect Track 1. I'm going to go to the time and pitch, and we're going to look for pitch shifter. Now here, if I start at the default view, we've got the option to move down semitones and cents. So let's try moving down 1.
This.
And then 2.
This is the voice of...
And then 3.
This is the voice of Venom.
And maybe 4.
This is the voice of Venom.
Okay, we're getting closer to the voice of Venom, but we haven't finished there. Venom clearly has some kind of modulation, and I know through the duration of the movies, actually from movie 1 to movie 2, and even arguably movie 3, the voice of Venom sounded slightly different, so maybe they had different audio effect processors working on the movie. Or maybe they were using Pro Tools for one and Audition for the other. Who knows? Anyway, let's go in and let's add in some modulation. And again, in Audition, this is easy. Click on Effect Rack Track 2 and go to Modulation. And then we really want to look for something like chorus. This is going to be excellent to get that voice of Venom style sound. And if we drop down the presets, we can actually look, but they actually have something called a bass chorus, because what you'll notice with Venom is he's quite bassy, and he's got this kind of bassy, almost like vocoder sound going along with his voice. So let's add in bass chorus and listen.
This is the voice of Venom.
Probably say that's a little bit too much, so I can dial that down. We can take the delay time down from 20 milliseconds to 10.
This is the voice of Venom.
And then we've got things like modulation depth and rate, so let's again decrease that by 2 dB.
This is the voice of Venom.
And maybe move the modulation rate over a bit.
This is the voice of Venom.
And then what we can actually do, and this is the most important thing, is to actually change the dry and wet output levels. So at the moment, dry, that's the original signal, that's my voice, is at 60%, and wet is at 40%. That's the processing of this effect. Let's just dial that down a bit.
This is the voice of Venom.
And maybe a little bit more.
This is the voice of Venom.
And now we're getting pretty close to what I think Venom would sound like. If you're enjoying this so far, throw a like and subscribe, as I'm always doing tutorials just like this one. So we'll cross out of this. Now, another tip here in Adobe Audition, if you've got something you quite like, you can actually click here and save it as a preset, and we can call it Voice of Venom, like that, so we can always come back to it. I'll click OK, and then I'll apply this to my audio like so, and then...
This is the voice of Venom.
And if we wanted to go a little bit crazy, we could go ahead and add on something like a little bit of reverb. Studio reverb I find is quite good, and usually a vocal reverb medium will be good, but bring the wet right the way down to about 10 or just under 10%.
This is the voice of Venom.
Maybe even less, maybe even around 5%.
This is the voice of Venom.
So you've just got that kind of movie theater style, Venom style voiceover. It's pretty good. We got most of the way there, but I want to show you the third technique. So far, I've covered the first technique, which is train your voice, bring it down, speak from the tummy, and get raspy and vocal fry. The second technique is using Adobe Audition effects. The third technique requires a plugin, but it's one of my favorite plugin companies called Waves Audio, and I'll link the plugin up down below. You can use this plugin in any audio editor. So if you haven't got Adobe Audition, you can go over to even Audacity, which is free, and use this plugin to get the voice of Venom. And I'll show you the presets now. Okay, I'm just going to copy over the original file to another new file. This is my original voice.
This is the voice of Venom.
Wow, we've come a long way since that original recording, haven't we? And then I need to go into my effects menu here in Audition, but it might be under plugins or something else, depending what audio editor you're using. And for me here, I've installed it here, Waves, and it's called Ovox. The plugin is called Ovox. It's brilliant. It's got so many effects. Now, I've gone through, they've got like hundreds of effects in here, and I've found the effects that sound closest to Venom just with one click. That's right, buy this plugin, one click, and you've got the voice of Venom. It's probably the easiest way, actually. And the first one is called Bass Subres. Now, where is that? It's located here when we drop down the plugin menu under Instruments, and you'll see it here, Bass Subres. Let's have a listen.
This is the voice of Venom. So many snacks, so little time.
Not too bad. And then we've got another one, which I'm going to call out here. We go down to Artists. So under Cam Blackwood, you'll see Buzzy Low Octaves. Let's play.
This is the voice of Venom.
That's a little more electronic. Maybe it's not entirely suitable, but if you're looking for an evil kind of, or friendly evil in this case, alien sound, that might well work for you. One of the places I really hung out in quite a bit was under the vocoding presets, because these really are very kind of referencing really what's going on with the Venom voice. So if we go to Bassliner, I thought this worked quite well.
This is the voice of Venom. So many snacks, so little time.
Now, that doesn't sound great on its own, but if we apply that, and then we'll see we've got like this bass, which we can actually fade down a little bit, and we can copy over that original voice and paste it on top. Make sure you click overlap and then click OK.
This is the voice of Venom. So many snacks, so little time.
And that's actually not too bad, but do you know what I'd do? I'd grab the one that I processed earlier. This one, and we'll copy that and paste it on top, and we'll go Edit, Mix Paste, making sure we're overlapping again.
This is the voice of Venom. So many snacks, so little time.
Really not so bad, but you haven't heard the best yet. Let's go into vocoding again, and this preset is called Fat Boy. Let's listen to how this sounds.
This is the voice of Venom. So many snacks, so little time.
Again, a little over-processed, arguably, but you can always dial these things down. And the easiest way to dial it down is by taking this voice dial here and just dialing it up a little bit.
This is the voice of Venom. So many snacks, so little time.
So probably dialing it in around there, minus 4.6 works quite well. And the final one I want to show you is under Doubler. It's called Added Sub Preset. Let's play that.
This is the voice of Venom. So many snacks, so little time.
So as you can hear, Ovox just added a subtle sub-bass line to the voice, and that's kind of where we're going. If you actually listen to the voice of Venom in the movie, you'll notice even though it's deep and raspy, there's very little vocal processing on it in actuality, and you could probably get away with it by just using native effects in your audio editor, such as the chorus and the pitch shift. But if you want to go further and dial it in, then definitely Ovox from Waves Audio is worth a look, and I will link that up below. Have fun with this. Let me know how you get on. Maybe share a few of the examples. If you've got some stuff to share, let me know in the comments down below. And if you really enjoy creating amazing sounding audio, watch the video that's showing on your screen, because there's a great video that YouTube thinks you should watch next.